Alright, I want to give all glory and praise unto the Lord, Yahawah, by Shem, Yahawashi, Brakatah Yahawah, Brakatah Yahawashi, Brakatah Yahawah, and Brakatah Yahawashi. I want to give all glory and praise unto those holy and powerful names of Yahawah, being the Father, and Yahawashi being his only begotten Son. Now, this is Brother Malachi coming at you again through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, coming in the way of the Bashim Kakadash. I'll give you just a moment. Alright, which is the Holy Spirit of truth. Alright, that the Lord Yahawah by Yahawashi has sent down here unto his men, his predestinated men, to receive this truth. Alright, in order, alright, to wake up the hopeful elect according to biblical prophecy, so that they can be delivered as it was foretold in the scriptures. See, what we're doing is, as far as coming out here doing what we do, Slovakia, making our body a living sacrifice, as far as coming out here, is basically what we've been commanded to do. All right, and we're doing nothing more than fulfilling prophecy. So ultimately, the words written in the scriptures are faithful and they are true, and we are the witness and we testify of these faithful and but anyway, like I said, we testify these faithful things, okay, that the Lord Yahawashi is faithful, and the men of the Lord, consisting of the apostles of Great Millstone, who do will and do teach well from on down in the particular camps that are not a part of the main body, which is GMS, but still teach the respectful doctrine, 100% truth. That is our job, man, to come out here and declare these wonderful works of the Lord Yahawashi, to make things plain upon tables, and also, like I said before, to declare the truth of Yahawashi as far as who he's coming to save, why he's coming back, you know, who he's coming to save, like I said before, what is he gonna destroy, and everything of that nature, man. We're the men of the Lord, so we are to roll out the red carpet for Yahawashi in his second coming. And the Lord put a particular spirit of truth, you know, the Wakakadash, on his men to come out here, you know, to stand 10 toes and declare this truth in the sight of our enemies, all right, and in the sight of other men, all right, because maybe someone might come across the video, or a passerby might come up and inquire why you stand so stiffly for what you stand on, all right, and we're only doing this because we know that this is the truth, you know, and we're fully persuaded in our mindset that this is the truth. You know, we wouldn't be out here standing around with Bibles and garments on. They like to call it, you know, dresses. I don't know, they like to say, I mean, they ain't never said it to me. I ain't never heard it said, you know, to me at all, as far as taking the biblical garments that we wear, as far as, you know, and then saying that they're dresses. But, you know, they do what they do. But I want to start off in Romans, the book of Romans here. And then we're going to basically let the Wakakadash kind of take it, you know, let the Wakakadash just kind of, let the Spirit speak, ultimately let the Spirit speak. But before I jump to this lesson, I know you might hear that thunder. According to my weather app, you know, it's not supposed to rain. But if it do rain, then this camp is going to be cut short, and we will have to do something else, because I don't have the equipment and the type of setup to where my shit can get rained on and I'm cool, because I'm one camp, I'm one brother. So that shit, it rained, I gotta pack this shit up. I ain't gonna lie. Shit getting packed up. Not because it's just what it is. But Lord willing, you know, spirit step in and you know, he'll stay the rain for me temporarily while I, you know, get to these scriptures. But before I hop into these scriptures and read, this is a prayer I like to read before every lesson through the Spirit. Now this is it reads Barakatah Yahawah, which is bless you. Barakatah Yahawah, which is the Father. Barakatah Yahawashi, which is the only begotten Son. Baba Kashar, which is please in Hebrew. Shalak goes into that word sinned. You know, where we get, you know, Shalak Ra'im, which is sin evils. You know, Shalak being sin, evil being Ra'im. But it says, Shalak Hadaraka Quadash Labana Habaika Yahar Thawab Thawada. Alright, ultimately praying the Lord Yahawashi send down the Holy Spirit unto me so that I can be edifying unto the hopeful body of the elect. Now, if brothers want that particular prayer, I can make a video on it, or I can post a screenshot in the community tab or something, or if you comment and I'll send you I took a screenshot of it anyway. So if brothers want that lesson, that's just the lesson I say and try to bring up before I get into the scriptures every time I'm out here. Now I want to start in Romans, the 12th chapter. That's where the Spirit's telling me to go, and we'll move from there. So this is Romans 12 and verse 1. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, and the brethren that he's speaking to, because the Apostle Paul was the apostle unto the Gentiles, and the Gentiles were Israelite foreigners, or Israelites that didn't understand or know, had a lack of understanding that they were Israelites. So they were doing heathen customs and doing all types of madness, man. But these particular so-called Gentiles were actual Israelites that the Lord Yahawashi put the Spirit on Paul to go and redeem and bring back into the fold. All right, because under Antiochus during the Maccabean revolt and rebellion against you know, the Greeks that led into the Romans, they fought back against the what's the word I'm looking for? They fought back against the empire of that time, all right, which led into the Hasmonean dynasty, all right. And so that's why, you know, you have particular Israelites during that time coming up into the time of Yahawashi that they were so solely stuck on the law. They were really sold on the law because they had their forefathers in the past fight so heavily for the law, for the temple, and, you know, to keep the things of Israel, all right. But the Lord Yahawashi, he opened up a way so that those Israelites that fell away, you know, that consented into Antiochus and onto his Hellenization, they were able to, you know, they did that. But the Lord Yahawashi, some of them are the elect. So some of those individuals, not all of them, but some of them are the elect, and they will return. So during the time of Apostle Paul, his mission was out there unto those particular individuals, unto those particular Gentiles. So we might get into that. It's whatever the Spirit want to do. You know, let the Spirit have free course. But ultimately, those Gentiles are Israelites. Okay, these scriptures from Deuteronomy, from Genesis to Revelations is only written about, speaking about our people. Now, within that as well, you have particular nations, and, you know, we got Esau, we got, you know, Japheth, we got the nations in here. But as far as the main bulk of the scriptures is referring unto Israel and what the Lord, and how the Lord is going to save and beautify the children of Israel, starting off first and foremost with the elect. That's what the scriptures go into. Okay, destroying the 2/3 and the wicked Israelites scattered abroad, and delivering the elect. You know, now, like I say, the scriptures do got, you know, things written about the heathens, you know, as well. But the heathen nations, they're through. Like, you know, the heathens are through. Like, you know, they're going into slavery. Like, what else can we really say? We could get some scriptures on it, but ultimately they're cooked. The main primary two individuals within this storyline, as in right now, is Esau being the so-called white man. Notice I said so-called because he's not actually white, and the so-called black man, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American man, which makes up the house of the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Seminole Indians and so-called Mexicans as well. Just throw that in there. Okay? These is who the Lord is sent for. These two particular characters, being Esau being the so-called white man, Jake being the Israelites, are playing out their blessings as we speak right now. So you got Esau Edom playing out his blessing right now, or as far as world rulership, world dominance, him being able to do what he's doing with the sword, okay, with his military and with his financial sector, which goes into his which goes into his centralized private banks, okay, and what's that other one? The Federal Reserve, through spirit, But anyway, it's a lot. In Romans 12:1, it says, "I beseech you therefore, brethren." So we understand that the brethren is speaking about, and when you go to Romans 9, it speaks about Romans 9:3 speaks about the brethren of Paul. We'll get there. We'll just get there real quick, and then we'll go back. Oh shit, it's raining. Man, I knew damn well. Please don't let it just rain like that. I felt the drop. But man, maybe the Lord might spare me through His Spirit. And I'm gonna read this precept real quick and jump back. This is Romans 9, starting at verse 3. I believe the point is in 4. It says, "For I could wish myself a curse from Hamashiach for my brethren." As you can see that word, that brethren word again. "For my kinsmen, according to the flesh." According to the flesh. This is a seed line. This is a bloodline. This ain't about a so-called white thing or so-called black thing, because we got Israelites looking like every nation under the sun. Okay, so this is about being an Israelite at the end of the day. We got the boys. We got the boys in blue. They riding by doing bullshit, but see, they really can't do shit. Especially as far as right now, because all I'm doing is reading the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? They just roll by and shit. But it's basically, doing this truth makes you a spectacle unto men. You know what I'm saying? But look like I can put the camera on him right now. But he look like he trying to turn around and come my way. But we'll see what he gonna do through the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I guess I don't know what the fuck he doing over there. Man, it's finna rain like a motherfucker. Damn. I know y'all hear that thundering. But real quick, before it rains, "For I wish that myself were cursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, for my kinsmen according to the flesh." These are Israelites. Okay, it says, verse 4, "Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the services of the Most High, and the promises." So, like I spoke about, how between Genesis to Revelations, everything concerning these scriptures, as far as the first covenant, as far as the second covenant, is only written for our people. It's for our people to tap into it. Okay, the covenant, first covenant wasn't with all people. The second covenant ain't with all people, because they both with the nation of Israel. When we're mentioning the other nations of people and what they got going on, we just read it. The Lord is dealing with the children of Israel. Now, like I say, the other nations, they will have their place, because they will be heathens, and they will be servants in the land of, not the land, but they will be servants in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? They will have a place, and that's going to be under the children of Israel. Okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see what this cop finna do. You know what I'm saying? Them boys ain't up to nothing good. But, that's the thing about, man. That's the thing about this truth, man. Sometimes people try to come fuck with you, but we ain't worried about that, for real. Back into this Romans 12:1, because I'm trying to see if I can get through this before it rains. I don't know if it's gonna rain or not. This is Romans 12:1. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren. So we understand who the brethren is. It's talking about Israelites. It says, by the mercies of the Most High, you present your bodies, which is what I'm doing, and which is what you see brothers doing on the highways and byways, scattered throughout the four winds. That's teaching the 100% truth. Now, we ain't speaking about the brothers that's not teaching the 100% truth. If you're not teaching the 100% truth, then I don't, it is what it is. The Lord Yahawashi is going to deal with you, because if you're not teaching 100% truth, knowingly teaching 100% truth, knowingly going off, then that will put you in the camp of a false prophet, and the Lord Yahawashi is going to have to deal with you, especially when you teach them particular breakdowns that aren't correct, and they're not correct. The Lord Yahawashi is going to have to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? But it says, I'm gonna read that again from the top. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable, which is your reasonable service. This is our reasonable service. This is what's gonna keep us from, the Lord Yahawashi already predestinated us to be delivered, but ultimately, the Lord's still gonna put the Spirit on us to behave and do certain actions and speak and carry ourselves a certain way, especially if we want to men of the Lord. I can't speak about a believer because I'm a believer, but I'm also one of the men of the Lord. I'm also one of the prophets. So I got to teach as well as believe and have faith and endure to the end. You know what I'm saying? God damn, it's finna rain on this bitch. Maybe I can get about 30 minutes in before it rains. I don't know though. I don't know. If I can get 30 minutes in, I'm gonna call that a win. At the end of the day, maybe 40 minutes, maybe if we're lucky. It says, I beseech you therefore, my bad. It says, let's jump to verse 2. It says, and be not conformed to this world. To what world? This world. You know what I'm saying? I'll have to go back, and I wish I could go and look into what I don't got my what you call it on me, to see what word this is in Greek here in Romans 2:12. But anyway, it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. And now we are being renewed in our minds via the truth, via Yahawashi, via the men of the Lord, and the Lord putting the Rakakwadash on, like I say, particular men, Apostle Great Millstone on down, from whoever teaching the true doctrine, to be awakened, to be, in the spirit of not being dry bones. Okay, because we were dry bones, before we understood who we were and before we understood this truth. All right, so we're being cleaned up. We're being cleaned up before the sight of our enemies, man. We're standing upon our feet with great boldness because we understand who we are, what we are, and who our power is and who our power is not. Okay, our power is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Our power is not a power of, our power, which is Yahawashi. He ain't friendly, which means he ain't dealing with the heathens. You know what I'm saying? Like that. They had, like I say, they have their place in the scriptures, and in the kingdom they're gonna have their place as servants. But the Lord is only dealing with his chosen seed, man. The Israelites. Reading on, it says, renewing your mind that you may prove what is good and acceptable